Good evening, everybody. I'd like to apologize if there's a lot of background noise tonight. I'm hoping that I've got things settled so it filters it out. But tonight, I'm getting started finally on the miniatures for Bardsung for my friend Jay. As you can see, I'm seated at my airbrushing table. And I've added some extra light, so hopefully, and I've added a different camera angle, hoping that this will make you guys able to see what I'm working on. Alright, click that on. Alright. Well, that's 20. No, that's way low. Let's kick that up to 32. Yeah. Haha. All right. I saw this thing and I thought it was the coolest. So I was going to do it first. I have no idea what this monster's position in the game is, but I thought he looked cool, and so I said, why not? There. All right. So I know that I want to make him horrifically red. And I'm going to layer him up through a couple of different shades till we get all the way up to this dark vermilion. Actually, that still stays pretty dark. This is carmine red. So one thing I tend to do with my Vallejo paints that I haven't done with some of the brand new ones is I shake the crap out of them with this little puppy. I check to see how thin they already are. It's fairly thin. I still want to thin it out more. Vallejo airbrush thinner. There we go. And I'm thinning it out as much as I have space for. I'm going to have to do the same thing with this nocturnal red. Ooh, that's a tight one. Behave you. Oh, that's dark. I like it. Oh, there's an air bubble. Pop. Go. Won't hurt anything to shake. Oh, Dennis, you went out of your way to find your mixing balls. Do not. There they are. Aha! drop and drop. Oh yeah, that's a lot thinner. I like that. Okay. And shake. Ooh. I don't know. They are so very different. Not really. But oops. Nah. Already had a bottle. An almost empty bottle of dark vermilion. Anyway, so what I like to do, so I have a reference, I dab a bit on the outer cap. So I can always, right at the outset, see the final color I'm working with. So it's not that I'm a messy painter. Alright, I am a messy painter. We've established this. But that's just going to be in my way. I'm going to try and move this. Hopefully that adds to the image for you guys. There. Woo! That's going to be dark. So we got dark vermilion is going to be our lightest shade of red that I'm going to work through. And we've got our trusty, not dusty, airbrush. Touch of water. We got some good action. Thinner, flow improver, I'm going to start dark. I'm going to start dark but thin, which might sound odd. I really want this to just seep into the crevices. Oh, there they are, good. Yeah. Look at that shade. Nice and dark. So I'm giving this paint the opportunity to slip into the crevices and look really kind of congealed, bloody. Because, hey, demon. Alright. I'm going to try and focus just on him. Ooh, see, we got some spattering there. That's not good. That's good. Seems good now. Get down in there. is not acting thin enough. Stir it up a little more. And we'll check the nozzle. Check it against the light. It's getting clear. It seems to be flowing. Yeah, alright. Is there any possible blockage? It's coming up freely. Oh, there we are. In there. You know, I just thought of something. I just thought, where'd I put my phone? Not really. I just thought, you know, it would probably be nice to tell the guy I'm doing this for that I'm finally getting around to their Mini. Or at least getting started on it. So let's go to share link. Don't peek. All right. Jay knows what's up now. Oh goodness, I'm overspraying on everything. Well, yeah, because I can just paint over it. It's acrylic. Not a big deal. Do not tell me. No, not yet. Okay. Thought it was feeling light. Let's get it turned a bit. I like that, but it's not as dark as I would have liked. Let's see what it dries out as once I'm finished nitpicking myself to doom. I know what I can do. let's grab... Oh, no, not that. That works a lot. So I've still got a little bit of the really dark red in there. I'm going to shake this up to see if I already put a ball in it. I did not. This was probably opened when I couldn't find mine. Whoop. Glorp.
Alien child, glorp.
Or just mess on the desk, Dennis. Probably that latter one. Alright. We're going to go ahead and thin it. A little more. Cap it. Dip the cap in that. Neat. Shake the snot out of it. I really want to replace this table with something a little more permanent. It's nice having a folding table, but my ring light doesn't balance too well on it. All right, shaken. So what I'm going to do is the spots I really want to darken up, add just tiny drop, maybe 2. Boop, there we are. 2 boops. I specifically want to use this on an area that I want a little darker. Dab that up because I know I'm going to put my arm right in it. So, whoop. Yeah, there we are. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm not pulling the trigger back as far because I want less paint flowing here. I'm just kind of layering it in. Now I'm just spraying air. Really, I'm also trying to get the undersides of the arms with this slightly darker shade. I'll be honest, if I'd been paying attention to Kickstarter, I probably would have backed this just to get this model. All right, now there's still a tiny bit left in there, but I'm going to shift it even more brown. A couple more drops. See, I'm really down to the very bottom of my paint cup. And just to make sure that we're still doing okay, and check for any tip drying. Yeah, a little bit. Got a little dry paint in there. There we are. You can see a nice little chunk right there. It's not perfect, but it's better. All right. Neck. There. You can see we're right down to the dregs. And I'm going to keep darkening a little bit. Yes, I could do this with a wash later. But I really like the effect that you can get out of an airbrush. There. I'm just going to keep going down. Whoop. I almost spilled it. There. Now, you can see he's pretty red still. And there are slighter gradations in him. Trying to really get it down this side. There. Only the tiniest bit left in the cup. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 more drops. Depending on what shade you were going for, you could also do this with a dark purple. I like this hex lichen and this royal purple for doing stuff like that. I'm going to kind of do up and under the horns. Now it's really grabbing that brown shade. Don't you worry, we're not done. now we are pretty well tapped. So while I let that dry a little bit, we're gonna clear the old paint out. Start with the quick route, water rinse. I can't stress enough that these are your biggest friends when doing airbrush work. They speed up so many parts of the process. All right. Filter back in. Cleaner. Now that I got the cleaner, swab. Now that I got the swab. There we are. We still have a good healthy flow, so that's good. That means I just noticed I had tapped this so it was touching the air compressor. My bad, folks. Last bit of the cleaner is about to go out. Big hefty dose of water. And I can see that a little dried paint had settled in the bottom of the cup, which happens. That's why I give it a good hard flush right at the end. Alright, and the last of the suds through. So I'm going to grab the aptly named red, since this is empty. Check inside the cap. Cap's got a little grunge in it. Whew. There we are. There we are. All right. So, as usual, we start out with thinner. Add flow improver. Now I'm going to put in my red. That's nice deep red still. Nice and bright. pick them up. We're gonna make sure we got a good flow. A little flick. We got a little stuckage. Oh, there we go. That's through. The red finger says so. Well, we're stuck again. Oh, you're not flowing. Got a little bit of a clog in there, so. Oh, there. There we go. Ah! Spatter issue there, but I'm gonna thin it down and then wipe it down. So as you're using a gentle touch, you aren't going to wipe off your previous layer. There. an uncooperative eyebrow and tusk. Alright. You should start to be able to see slight gradient. Oh wow, I've got to really work on the color adjustment on the back coming out. Where we have the darkest underneath, works around to the lighter, and then works back down underneath again. And I'm trying to come from above where the light's going to hit him, or rather I should say where some light's going to hit him. Definitely get the toes. Oh, I got some tip drying going on. Yep. I don't know how well it's showing up, but there were chunks on there. Alright, so I've got starting to blend up. Pop. Used about half of my paint. Take this, and I'm going to hit what these are supposed to be flames under here. I'm going to start them at this color. I'm going to come back at them with other colors. Alright, I think I'm done with this color. So I am going to expel the rest. Just like that. it up. See if anything comes out when I bubble it. Oh yeah. See if anything comes out. There we go. Okay, now clean it. Yeah, I should be able to. That. Bright orange and. Where's that really bright one? Yeah, there's the orange fire. Alright. I usually clean the cap off too while I'm at this. Alright. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put a little center through just to see if anything else comes out. Nothing. So. Alright, less paint. Spray less the water out. There we go. Got a nice light flow. This is the third color third red I'm putting on, so each time I'm trying to put on less. Oh. I wonder why I could see the spray when I first turned it on. I had water in the line. So your compressor will fill up if you have, you should have an adjustable PSI gauge with water trap. But if you let the water trap get too full, which I did, shame on me. You can see I still have some water in the line. I'm not even pulling this back. That's just water in the line. There you go. If you have water in line, it can cause that little bit of paint that you leave on the tip to spray. Whoa! We have a problem here. We dab off that paint. Set this down. Yeah. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but there is a lot of moisture coming out of that puppy. So let's take the time to get rid of it. All right. So I'm just, woof, I can't get this down quite far enough. We're gonna move the camera. Hope nobody gets motion sick. Got a little drain at the bottom here. A little pet cocky, just push it up. Oh, sometimes that'll happen. I can't get this down quite far enough. We're gonna move the camera. Hope nobody gets motion sick. And just shake it back down in place. All right. I think we got all the water out and found another straw wrapper from a juice box. Get this back in position. There we are. And of course, when I moved to the ground, I had a rotten cat try and steal my seat. He has to learn. He cannot just steal Daddy's chair. All right, and no more spitting. So that was pretty much entirely my fault for not checking the water trap before I got started. All right. Now, it left some in the brush. Guarantee I've got some tip drying now. Yeah, that took longer than I would have liked. Yep, I see the chunkies. That's clear. All right. I want to bring this up a little. So I'm going to add orange fire. I'm just going to need a quick shake. Orange fire. Just going to need a quick shake. See how much paint I got left in here. I have a fair amount left in here, so I think I'm going to go do his head a little more with just the red. Now I'm definitely getting something stuck in there. I think we're good with that color. I'm gonna dump most of it out. There. Not a whole lot left in there. Bring it up with some of this orange fire and more thinner. Definitely want to hit down by this hand with it. So he's got this flame that he's carrying. I'm going to hit very heavily with this orange infusion. Side of this, so you can see that that light is shining on him. Now, all this is supposed to be flame, so I'm going to go ahead and use up the rest of this. You out. Oh yeah, big jump that time. And with these flames, I'm going to work them up to a bright orange. And then I'm going to do the depths of them by brush into a blue. Because I am a silly little sausage, I've ripped my glove. Put on fresh. Problem with putting on a glove after you've been painting a while is your hand's sweaty. Yuck. All right, let's get back to it. I wonder if they have a cream for that burning crotch he's got. I had to. Sorry. I refuse to mature that much. There. I just ripped this glove. Alright, so there was very little left in that. Give this a nice stern cleaning out. I literally had paint drying in the cup. Definitely want to make sure I get all that nonsense out. You see how orange that water got? That means there's plenty hiding up here. All right. How about some brush cleaner? Nice good stir. I'm gonna wipe out down there as best I can. Got the tip. Now this time, since I'm worried less about blending the color, I'm going to go ahead and actually pull the needle out and get a little scrapage out down in there to make sure that we've got a nice clean passageway. I'll deal with it for now. Let's bubble it up. I don't see any solids. That's a good sign. Okay, nope. By the time the brush is clean, my hand will be dry. Touch more cleaner. Boop. Giving the cap a good clean out and off. Water through. Oh, I see solids. Aha. Good. Means the cleaner knocked it loose. That's that water coming out. All right. Dip, 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 dip. Very little paint in this one. Good stir. My hands are drier. Wow. Glove. All right. Oh yeah. Looks like we got some water in the line again. Just practicing. All right. All right, so what I'm going to do now, you can see I've got the nice base of multicolor going here. So I'm going to try and use the same shade from a longer distance to show that that color is reflecting up on it. So very... There we are.
So I'm going to try and use the same shade to show that color is very
There. There we are. So there's definitely a light source showing there now. So I'm all done with the orange fire for the evening. That's the charred brown. That goes down here. Why, yes, I do keep my paints in some semblance of an order. The question is, do I want to go bright orange or do I want to top with yellow? And I think I want to top with yellow. Because I don't think the bright orange is quite bright enough to really shine on this. And this is just too pale. I want there to be violence in the fire. Also got orange fire, but... Oh, it is orange fire. It's the same paint. Yeah. I have light orange. I think I'm going to go with the yellow on this one.
It is orange fire. It's the same paint.
This sun yellow is got some oomph to it in terms of pigmentation. Oop. So Dennis is going to need a quick change of water. kind of wish I had a little interstitial to show you guys, but I don't. Just imagine the kind of commercial you'd see watching Saturday morning cartoons in the early to mid 80s, and that's what I'm thinking of. That's not what I'm doing, but it's full. And this is mostly empty.
The kind of commercial you'd see watching Saturday morning cartoons in the early and mid 80s.
I mean, I don't want to gather any copyright strikes, so I'm not going to start singing any of the jingles that go through my head when I watch cartoons.
And this is mostly empty.
Interesting thing near me, there are two discount stores that well, trying not to say their name, but one here in Towson and one out in Rosedale that, strangely enough, they're both in the old buildings for my favorite toy store when I was a kid. So I'm sure many of you have fond memories of that chain as well. But all right, thinner, flow improver.
I'm sure many of you remember that name as well.
Paint. Nice and thin. Nice and flowy. That's uncool. There we are. So, we've got nice undulating colors in the fire that are projecting a little light on his underside, and I'm going to top that off with an even lighter yellow and maybe even a touch of white dry brushed onto some of these spots once he's fully dry. For now, he is 100% done with the airbrush. I need to let him fully cure before I come back at him for any other colors. I'm probably going to not airbrush him anymore and do the rest just with hand brushes.
He is 100% done with the airbrush.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. At least this part of it.
Back at him for any other colors. I'm probably going to not airbrush him anymore and do the rest just with hand brushes.
So, dude has these amazing wings that they're absolutely do their own work. Most of the colors I see for them are brown with like gray and black in the middle. And I think I kind of like that. But of course, gotta clean the airbrush first. Yeah. You see why I squirt down in? It was right down there at the base. Lots of the pigment will gather. There we go. I think I'm going to hold off on these for a few because I really want to finish off some horns that I've had sitting. These horns, I've already coated them with some bone white, so I'm going to hit them with this off-white so they don't just look, even though they're Bowsette horns, they don't look too cartoony.
These horns, I've already coated them with some bone white, so I'm going to hit them with this off-white so they don't just, even though they're Bowsette horns,
see, this is the current state. I printed them in gray PLA. I think what I want to do first get out my big brush.
it's the current state. I printed them in.
Where are you, my
gray
number
PLA.
2? Wet palette.
I think what I want to do first.
And bone white. I see some unevenness, so I want to address that. See, this is not very thin. I'm just gonna give that a mow while I grab my water cup. There we are. take these out. Not gonna lie, I'm dying to see Jay's costume. Jay does some hilariously over the top cosplays, and I am so here for it.
Jay's costume.
There we go. Not gonna lie, this job is making me wish I had a bigger brush. Maybe I'll spring for a, like number 4 for myself one of these days. Let's go. There we are. All right. Oh, whap, whap. That was ungood. Perhaps now you can see why I had speaker wire run through the holes so that I actually had these hanging from my kitchen cabinets, and I have an extra long airbrush hose, and I was airbrushing them in there. Let's get some more paint. Get some more dinner. There we go. Okay. And having done this, I sure as hell am not going to do the other one this way. This is making my fingers cramp so hard. Not an amount of pressure I'm used to putting on things at these angles. Ahem. This is making my fingers cramp so hard. So, not an amount of pressure I'm used to putting on things at these angles. I'm going to very carefully restring it. I can do that through one hole. Now I'm going to go hang it from my kitchen cabinets again. I'm going to go hang it from my kitchen cabinets again. All right. Let's grab the other one and just do it with the airbrush. Grab the other one and just do it with the airbrush. Squirt. Dribble. Mix a little. Fill a lot. Oh no! It's okay, I already went out and got more. Still feel a little ridiculous for what happened the last time I went to the game store. I did the responsible thing. Gasp, shock, and awe. And I got the 3 paints that I had on my list. And then I grabbed one that I forgot to put on my list. And then came home. When I got home, I realized that one of the paints I grabbed was wrong. So I meant to get Way Watcher, specifically Watcher Green Glaze. And I instead picked up Way Stone Green Technical Paint. What's the difference, you say? Way Stone Green is one of their really thick effects paints. And it looks so cool. But I already have a completely full thing of it. So I need to go back to Temptation, I mean the game store, to pick up my Way Watcher Green if they have it. Yeah, I'm trying to get a very consistent coat on this. Anybody out there read anything interesting lately? I don't usually go in for biographies, but I started watching the Hoof GP on YouTube. Love the guy. This is going to sound incredibly weird to some people, or so I was told by my parents this weekend. But he is a hoof trimmer in the southwest of Scotland. He does functional hoof trimming so that cows can walk as best as they can and carry their children and give milk because they can stand comfortably as long as possible. And yes, some of those videos get rank. Abscesses in the hoofs and stuff. But he loves his work and he clearly cares about the animals. And that's what I was in the need of. And I started watching it. So I picked up his autobiography and I've been giving that a rather pleasant listen. Alright. Well, I'm content with that coat. Oop. And of course, there we are. Let's go give this one a good hang up and see how the other one's doing. I may bring it under the hood. Well, I'm content with that coat. Oop. And of course, there we are. Let's go give this one a good hang up and see how the other one's doing. We'll bring it on. Oh, there we go. Tried some, and it's definitely streaky. So let's give it a blast. Wild Spambot has joined the chat. Sorry, person selling followers. Up and around and... Hey. Oh no! We are just about out. And that's all done. Well, that has gotten to the point where that is all I can do until these dry tonight. I want to thank everybody who took a peek in on the stream tonight, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Yes, I know I'm stealing that from SNES Drunk, but I really do. I love that guy. Really do mean it. Have a great day.
I want to thank everybody who took a peek in.